you can even, is it the issue of health? Is it the issue of the judicial system? Is it put it down to our electoral system, political party structures, governance? These are serious challenges. But we shall continue to interrogate and offer the way forward. And together, all of us, jointly, will move this country forward to the desired destination. And people ask me, I was interviewing the director, the state director of National Orientation Agency just about a fortnight ago yesterday. And she was telling us about core values of Nigeria. And I said, do you think Nigerians, do you think students in primary, nursery, secondary school, and tertiary institutions are aware of these things you reference as core values of our society? Things that people don't know. How do they relate to it? It would be very, very strange to talk to a boy or girl in primary, secondary school. You talk about Nigeria's core values. They do never heard of it. Of course, we know the national anthem. We know about the national anthem, Arise, O Compatriots, Nigeria's call to be, and of course, they recite the national pledge too. But when you talk about the core values, I'm sure most students in nursery, primary, and secondary schools would never have heard of that. So these are some of the things that we'll have to push, not just jingles about the change begins with you. What change? What kind of change do we desire? These are the big questions. Yes, today completes the serialization of that I've done regarding, it's been a solo run, so to say, in these past 4 editions, or 3 editions. But it's all about Nigeria, and that is what we're going to be doing in the concluding part. The news space has been awash with not so positive news, you know, especially about the economic landscape. Yes, we got some glimmer of hope from, well, at least the international financial space. Moody upgraded Nigeria's rating. What does this mean? But would that alone do it for us? All of this we're going to be looking at holistically in this concluding part of taking a look at our landscape. And in the next fortnight or thereabout, if earlier possibly, we'll be bringing in Nigeria's former envoy to the Philippines, an elder statesman, a very, very big man in broadcasting, and of course an intellectual profound depth. We're going to be doing the serialization of sectoral serialization, the economy, health, education, finance, and of course the configuration of our union. We're going to be doing the serialization 4 minimum, maybe 5. So we will not just be doing criticisms. How was it done in the past? How is it being done now? What can we do? What can we do? And who is to do the needful? What is your own part? What is my own part? Not just talking about the leadership. And I assure you that we'll be talking about what they call elite consensus. In every society that has marched forward from a location that is untidy like we are, there is always what they call an elite consensus. Elite consensus must emerge to ensure that there is an agreement, and that agreement is always driven, developed, reached, and driven by the elite. And when we talk about the elite, we're talking about the political elite, the military elite, the economic elite, the commercial elite. We're talking about academic elite, and of course, I will tell you, the media elite. The media is recognized as the 4th estate of the realm after the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government, to be the watchdog of society. And is this critical branch, the 4th estate of the realm. Are we playing that role? One day soon, we will of course have to do a critique of the media as the fourth estate of the realm. What is happening to the media? How has the media fared in this democratic dispensation of the Fourth Republic compared to other dispensations and the likes? Because we cannot just be doing a critique of other arms of government and society without doing a brutally frank critique of ourselves. So today I will be calling in. He's live in the studio. He will be joining me virtually. Mr. Ayodeji Ajisope. Because this is a man of some depth and good grasp. I call him a seasoned analyst. We're going to be taking a look at the politics, the not so good news that is coming in. And inflation is projected for 30% by January. And this morning when we were having a conversation, we were talking about monetary policies that has impacted so negatively the people of this country, so negatively. But also, there's a fiscal side to it. What is being done on the fiscal side? Is the fiscal policy, is it matching it? It's not going to produce results immediately, like the impact of the monetary policies. But what is being done? Is there a plan? Is there a visible plan? Is there a hope? So, those are the things we're going to be talking about this afternoon. In the remaining part of the program, about 3/4 of an hour. Do stay tuned. I'll be back shortly. Which way Nigeria is the question.
Is now right here at Solutions 93.9 FM, kids, and you can have a fantastic end of the year party also. With just 2,000 naira, you can see Santa Claus right here, and guess what? With the same ticket, you gain entrance into Solutions 93.9 FM's annual Kiddies End of the Year party.
Party after party, after party after party.
Parents, schools, churches, and organizations. From December 1, 2023, Santa Claus will be here with goodie bags for your kids. With this token, you can allow your kids to experience the wonders of Christmas and the pleasurable end of the year season. If you demand, we can also transfer Santa Claus to your schools, your churches, and your organizations and anywhere at a discounted rate. All you have to do is reach out to us at 100 Obafemi Awolowo Way, Aweni House, Okeado, Ibadan. Or you can contact us on 0817-452-0785 or 0818-090-5832. Solutions 93.9 FM Santa's Grotto. Let the kids breathe.
John,
What's up?
check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the find who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey! You too fit be one of the 6 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial *671# to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer your family and friends them. After that, make sure see them open Momo account and use them recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken. Now, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you don't see out of 6 million naira every week, you fit to chop out of 160 million naira. Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. This promo go run from November 2010 to 31st December 2023. Terms and conditions stay shall.
Omo, you're always on your phone. You don't even have time for your guys anymore. Where you they see this data?
Sorry, bro. It's Ayoba.
Ayoba? Which babe is that one again?
Ayoba is not a babe. It's the all-in-one app that lets you chat and call friends, listen to music, play games, get trendy gist, and many more. All on the app. No need for multiple apps. Just use Ayoba and enjoy.
Yo, tell me more.
Yes! With Ayoba, you can play, work, have fun, share files, and many more. And that's not all. MTN subscribers get 700 MB weekly to enjoy all these on Ayoba. So, what are you waiting for? Download Ayoba now on Play Store or App Store to get started.
Guy, this Ayoba is better than you said, oh.
MTN, what are we doing today?
Let there
Whatever you wish for this season, Amazon delivers with Eddie Murphy's latest festive family hit, Candy Cane Lane.
Don't freak out.
Dirty your December with gritty action comedy, Twisted Metal.
This is gonna be fun.
And Richer is back in action for a bigger than ever season 2.
I don't hit soft.
So whatever you wish for this festive season, it's right here on Prime Video.
I'm enchanted.
Let there be love.
Spread the joy this Christmas season. La 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 la.
This Christmas go over jolly. La 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 la.
As we dance, they'll give us money. La 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 la. Dad, your wallet is empty.
That's why I've got FCNB.
La 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 la.
The little moments of joy that we share with our loved ones is what lights up the season and makes it truly special. Merry Christmas from FCMB. FCMB, my bank and I.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ayodeji Ajisope. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Oh. Okay. Hello? 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 Okay. Hello? Mr. Ayodeji. Hello? Ah. Hello, Mr. Ajisope. I hear his movement.
Yeah.
Hello? Ah. Well. Hello, Mr. Ayodeji Ajisope. Yes, I think we're having an audio challenge with our guest there. While that is being fixed, I will give you a rundown of some of the issues we're going to be talking about today. And this morning, it was in the news. You know, yes, we've been having snippets of it, but it is fully in the news now that Dangote refineries will be dispensing products, dispensing to marketers, by January, haven't received a million barrels of crude oil. And of course, that is out of the expected 6 million barrels that they will require to operate fully at installed capacity of 650,000 barrels per day. That is the installed capacity of Dangote refineries. And with what they just received, the refinery is not likely to operate at full capacity. And when when an industry like that is not operating at full capacity, that is not in the interest of the economy, neither is it in the interest of the company itself. Okay, Mr. Badejo Kwarisumbo, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you hear me now? Hello, Mr. Badejo Kwarisumbo. Hello? Can you please change your location if... I think there's a little challenge with that audio. I would go ahead with that rundown. And that's not in the interest either of the market or of the manufacturer. So if you're not operating at optimum capacity, I mean, the products are not going to be enough in the market. And apart from that, is the bigger the quantum of your production, the cheaper it becomes. If you spend 10 naira to produce 100 copies, and it's just like this your paper, you may spend 100 naira to produce 1,000 too. So these are some of the issues that are involved in production. So, but they are expecting 5 more million barrels to reach that maximum production capability that is installed in Dangote refineries. Dangote refineries, you will recall, was built at a cost, humongous cost of $20 billion US, with NNPC having a stake in it. Okay, Mr. Badejo Kwarisumbo. Hello? Hello, Mr. Badejo, can you hear me now? Looks like that challenge of audio is not going away. But we continue with the rundown of the outlook for the economy. Now, one thing that Nigerians are refusing to accept is the decision of Dangote refineries to start production in this manner. They will be producing jet, what do they call it? Aviation fuel. Aviation fuel, the one they call Jet A1. And then they will be producing AGO, the one we call diesel. And people are asking, what happened to the production of PMS? Hello, Mr. Badejo Kwarisumbo. Hello? I think, hello, Mr. Badejo. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Badejo? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, looks like that's a lot of distraction we're going to do away. Okay. Hello, Mr. Ayodeji Ajisope. Can you hear me now? I'm hearing you. Can you hear me now? That's, well, our analyst is almost inaccessible, maybe by location or whatever. We're having a difficult one. I can hear him, maybe he cannot hear us. I spoke to him earlier, just a few minutes before we came on air, and he was supposed to join us virtually. Yes, like I said earlier on, Dangote Industries will be producing Jet A1, which is the one called aviation fuel, and the other one called AGO that we regularly call diesel. Of course, you are aware that by now, diesel, AGO, is the one that industries are using to power their machineries. Mostly because power from the national grid is not so reliable. And I've also noticed that some other industries have changed over to CNG, making power from the national grid the alternate source of power. And this is due to the fact that most of these equipments cannot withstand power going off and on. They will suffer damage. So they convert to CNG and other sources, alternate sources of power, which gives them steady flow and makes things reliable. Now, But like we said, AGO and Jet A1 fuel, that is what Dangote will be doing. But people are demanding, what is it? What is it that we cannot, why is it that we cannot have PMS? PMS that drives the economy of the common man, the barber, the owner of the salon, the drivers that bring pepper, bring tomato, bring alubosa from Zamfara, Kaduna, and everything on a daily basis. Why are we not making that available? Because that will drive down the price, food price index, which is clearly above about 30-something% now, the food price index. Why are we not doing that? Inflation, we're told, is heading for 30% by January. So why are we not addressing that? Why are we addressing Jet A1 fuel and AGO? People are saying, does a poor man fly around in aircrafts? Certainly not. Not with the cost of going around by air now. Some return tickets reach 500,000, some reach 300,000, 400,000. Hello, Mr. Ayodeji Ajisope.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, finally. Thank you for the intervention by my comrade brother Dapo here. And the active efforts of my producer too in connecting you. Yes, a good afternoon to you, Mr. Ayodeji Ajisope. Thank you for joining us on the show this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. We are now having so much good news coming in on this economic side of the nation. We're hearing Dangote refineries will be going into production, and then they will be producing Jet A1, which is the aviation fuel, and then AGO, the one that we call diesel. And people are asking, what happened to PMS? The PMS, does the poor man fly? Does the poor man use diesel for anything? Why are they not doing PMS that everybody, the poor and the rich, but basically it's so important to the poor and nearly strangulating the poor now? Why are we not having the production of PMS rather than this other two? That is the question being asked. What's your take on that?
I was kind of surprised too when I had the report. Well, after making careful thoughts about evaluation of the whole thing, I discovered that they deliberately prioritized the production of diesel and Jet A1 first because they are targeting cost of production. And if cost of production has been on the high side, don't forget GlaxoSmithKline just exited the country, and P&G too had followed. And part of the reason why the companies are folding up is the enabling business environment, which is the high cost of production and, of course, the other logistic challenges. So that's why I feel the price of diesel needs to come down, as well as that of the cost of flights for personnel and other businessmen. So if these two comes down, it will have a spillover effect on the cost of production and, of course, the prices of the product. So that is why I think those ones are being prioritized, as well as but petrol. We still have, I think, a number in circulation that can still go side by side what Dangote will later be having the diesel they're producing. But in my opinion, that is why I think those two products were kind of given priority, because cost of flight tickets is on the high side, and the main reason is because of Jet A1. And these are businessmen traveling. The common people don't travel, apart from our political class anyway. But for the diesel, everyone agrees that the price of diesel needs to come down if we really want to bring down the cost of production.
Yes, cost of production. That's a good one, targeting cost of production. But people are asking, how soon will this intervention, how soon and how soon will it impact the cost of production? Will it be at a cheaper rate than the ones being correctly imported, or how?
It's going to be cheaper because even though the crude will still be sold at the foreign
Spot
exchange
market.
Yeah, but the cost of importation, freight, and the rest of them would be huffy. And of course, the logistics of moving around will also be huffy. That will bring down the price to a reasonable level, maybe to around 600 naira. If diesel is selling for 600, it will be a big relief for those who run power their plants with diesel. Spending the time the gas project as well as the other energy efforts being made by the government will also come to full fruition. That's on the one side. The government is also looking at the share market. I think a billion naira hit for 75 companies, which are going to, they will soon be assessing as soon as the Ministry of Trade and Investment.
A billion naira for 75 companies.
Yes, that's kind of intervention going into the manufacturing sector. And that with diesel would definitely crash the cost of production. I think the government wants to tackle price from the production end so that it's going to be arriving at the market in a more reasonable price. That's what I think is happening, and of course, it's a welcome development if it is followed through.
All right. People, that's a good one, tackling consumer price index from the cost of production end. But people are asking, the pepper, the onion, the tomato that we eat every day here in Ibadan is transported by those, the one they call minibuses from Zamfara, Kaduna, Sokoto, on a daily basis with vehicles, buses that are dependent on PMS, the one that we call petrol here. So that one will not be affected immediately, and that is critical to what the people eat.
That information may not be correct. From what I know, it is the large truck that also convey this thing in large quantities, and this truck also makes use of diesel. So their own logistics will also be brought down if there's anything to go by. Because currently, before a trailer would load goods, a trailer load of some tomato and pepper, before it will come down from Kaduna State, for instance, down to Ibadan here, the truck will not use less than diesel that is worth of close to 600,000. That is coupled with the various charges that, of course, the corrupt security agents will collect on the way. So when you look at that, there's no way it's not going to be affecting the price. But if the diesel is coming down to maybe 200,000, that will definitely have a significant impact on the price. So it's going to bring down the price of those other, except for those that are within the region, maybe from the Ogun area, which won't have much trucks going in that direction, unlike the core north, where we have trucks come in from that direction. So those are the ones, and if you look at the distance, the amount of petrol they will be spending to bring down items from Isenyi cannot be compared to you using petrol to bring all the way from Kaduna.
Yeah. Now, the bane of the immediate past administration was what some experts saw as the overbearing influence of the monetary, the guys that were in charge of the monetary instruments in taming the economy, that was personified by Godwin Emefiele, and the inactive mood in which the fiscal end was in terms of the Ministry of Finance, planning, and all of that, when we saw a domination of the entire economic landscape by the monetary angle of the economy. There were, in fact, at a point in time, there was clearly a disagreement even between the Minister of Finance and the governor of the central bank. Are we seeing a unity of purpose? Are we seeing a synergy, the necessary synergy to drive Nigeria's economy out of the doldrums on both sides of this divide? Are we seeing that?
Yes, there is an improvement compared to the last administration. And these are the reasons. The last administration, there is no synergy. The fiscal side was running its own, and the monetary side was just being personified, as I said, by the CBN governor. To the extent that when the cash currency, what is it called now, reduction or what cash swap was being issued, I remember the Ministry of Finance then, Zainab Ahmed, said she wasn't aware that such is going to happen. And she made a categorical statement that if the CBN goes ahead to do that, that there's going to be problem within the economy. And that was what eventually happened, which shows lack of synergy between them, and the corresponding effect was that the entire country suffered for it. But the situation we have now is similar to what we had under the penultimate president, that's Goodluck Jonathan. By pronouncing the Minister of Finance as the coordinating minister for the economy, that already makes it clear that the CBN cannot do anything without the knowledge of the finance minister, because he's to coordinate. And before he became the finance minister, he was first appointed as SA monetary policy, which means he's already been on the lookout of the monetary side. And being an economist by training, he has full-fledged understanding of how monetary policy works. So you find the synergy, and of course the revenue agency also being headed by someone who is a member of the team. And these are people that have worked together at the state level in Lagos, coming now to the national front. And their relationship goes way back. And of course the person they are going to be working with has put them together based on the trust and the working relationship he has had with them in the past. So that cordiality in terms of relationship will also be reflecting in their work. And that's why you've been seeing them moving together. All the conferences they've attended, they've been moving together, both locally and internationally, so that they will be on the same page, not that one person would be saying one thing, another person will be saying another thing. Because it's important that the synergy of both policies is what would really boost the confidence of those who they are trying to attract in terms of foreign investors.
Over the weekend, Moody's upgraded Nigeria's rating. What does that imply on the monetary policy? What does that imply regarding the monetary policies of the government? Is that an approval or what? Or what's that rating about?
It's a form of approval. They probably have evaluated the move of the administration and, of course, the policies that they have been doing. Of course, the attempt to kind of boost investors' confidence. Remember, they inherited a situation where there are trapped funds that is close to more than $10 billion. And that is a very big issue when it comes to attraction of foreign investment, because the investors will look at that situation, coupled with the other non-economic related challenges as regards the enablement of the environment. They look at that. An investor is coming into your economy, wants to be sure that, okay, if I make money in this economy, will I be able to repatriate my profit eat-free? That is one thing they want to be interested in, because more investor will put money into an economy that will consume that investment. So the policy of government since June in that area has been kind of encouraging, and that's what I think has informed that rating.
Yes, but even at that, we'll still see the foreign investors, jumping off the Nigerian space. How do you reconcile that?
Those that are leaving are not the newcomers. Like P&G, for instance, before Nigeria, they have shut down in India, they have shut down in Kenya. They are just adding Nigeria to the fold. And that means something is happening within the company that is just beyond Nigeria. Of course, Nigerian factor is also added, but it is just not that alone, because it's a company that has been in existence for more than 4 decades within the country. So if they can survive, and our economy has never been enabling enough, except the investors are rugged. And don't forget, we have the market here. So that is guaranteed. We have cheap labor here. Those are two things that investors look for, especially in the manufacturing sector, which is abundant here. We have the cheap labor, we have the market. So they cannot just exit such an environment without a cogent reason. So they may be looking at downsizing their production plan. They may be divesting into other areas. So those are things that is best known to the management of such corporations. But we still have other ones that are local, that are still surviving the economy. And the government who is aware of this, they will also be looking at how others would also not exist. And how would they not exist is that the critical infrastructure needed to promote industrialization must be expedited upon.
All over the Nigerian space, what is the government doing? We are not feeling the impact. There is so much pain. There is so much anguish. Is there something that the government needs to be doing? I'm talking about the federal government level now that formulates policies, economic policies and all of that, that is not being done, you know, that can ease the pain of the people immediately now, you know.
The immediate thing that I feel can heal the pain of the people is to divert the subsidy to consumables, basic items that people consume daily. For instance, if something can be done to the bag of rice, to nosedive to around 25,000 or at most 30,000, it will be a big relief for those who are after the product, especially now that we are in festive period, that the product will be on the high demand. So things like that are what the government can do, and it is not rocket science. It's a matter of just getting the middlemen to putting the money in their hand and asking them, fixing the price for them, just like you are doing for petrol. You can do that for the time being, that the agricultural effort being made to boost the production or the cultivation of the product would manifest. Maybe just a 6-month period to really bring a sort of relief. That is one thing that the government can do in the immediate. Like you can go back to the Muritala regime. When it came up, there was high inflation. There are so many products that were way out of the reach of people. But they went and imported this thing in mass, flooded the market with them to crash the one that were already existing. And they were even branded the name of the administration, Muritala Sugar, Muritala Milk, Muritala this. And if you ask anybody that is mature enough during that time, that is the story they will tell you. And this is an administration that lasted just 8 months. So when you look at that, but within that 8 months of impact that people should talk about, these are things that the current government can also do. Because you cannot be living and displaying opulence by buying SUVs for yourself and your head, and not really thinking about what to do to bring so-called to the condition of your people.
Now, at the state level, because there's so much noise about federal government. Just during the week when we were having a conversation, I remember we talked about a 109% increase in the liquidity available to be shared by the 3 tiers of government, the federal, state, and the local government. But everybody is shouting federal government. What should the states be targeting to do with this liquidity that is available to them now? 109% over and above what they got last year. That's more than double, at least a double.
For the states, they need to look more into agriculture. And because if you want to boost food production, that is the way to go. I understand the state government in next year's budget is supposed to have 15 billion in agriculture. That is huge if truly the money will not be diverted. And agriculture is not something that can cover up your secrets. Put money there within 6 months, you're already seeing results. So within 3 months, you're already seeing results. Meaning that if that has been, if it's an audio promise that is not going to be implemented, within 6 months, people would have known that, no, this is false and it's a fraud on the part of the government. So they need to really boost agricultural supply of food items. We can't be relying on the north. We claim that the north is ravaged with insecurity, and that is still where
our food is coming from.
And here that we have minimal security threats, we are not doing anything. And even we have situation of people that have planted cassava that are not getting buyers to really process them. And these are because the cassava may be located in an obscure area that is not accessible. Government needs to come into all this. Then you need to get the local government involved. Local government has been practically moribund in Oyo State. We need to revive the local government life that we used to know because they are closer to the people. You can mandate them, give them agricultural mandates. Okay, Ibarapa local government, make sure you supply us yam or cassava. Okay, Ogun local government,
give us grains.
Grains. Yes, and they will run with it. Let them gather it, set up warehouses where these things will be properly stored so that it's not going to, because we have storage problem as well. So that will be properly preserved. And once it is preserved, even out of season, we'll still have the stock that will be going into the market gradually. And of course, the price will be stable. But this situation where we have now is a situation where exploitation is encouraged on the high side.
We're talking about storage. Oyo State government has been in a tango with the contractor that is executing a huge silo that is in Oyo that has been under construction. Huge silo that has been under construction since the days of Ajisope government. But it's not completed. All sorts of tales I've heard about that, and and those stories are authoritative regarding the situation in that silo. And that is critical infrastructure in agri, and we are not having it completed.
For grains and cereals. What about tuber crops like cassava and yam? What about vegetables? How do you preserve those ones in silos? We need warehouse.
Yeah.
That will be
refrigerated. But you're talking about refrigerated warehouses.
Exactly. That's what we should be looking into. We are no longer in the ancient of days where we rely most on those ones. You know, technology has advanced. We need things like that being put in place. And we don't need to go far. Luckily, Oyo State is hosting all the agricultural institutes that you can imagine. IITA, CRIN, FRIN, all of them are domiciled here in the capital. Meaning that we don't even need to go far to get research or more
expertise
to really plant.
And
you have expertise
that
would work on this thing that you can consult. They will tell you do soil testing as a minimal. You don't need to go far. So these are things that I see as a child we have the.
We are not taking a good advantage of them.
Landmass is as big as the 5 southeast states.
Now, no matter what we do. Hello, sir.
I'm listening.
No matter what we do, no matter the effort we put into it, 2 things I believe remain critical. Number 1 is power. It's critical even to the agro industry. Go to Oyo now. All the efforts of the Oyo State government, power is, a lot has been done there. Power is still critical. I've heard those who are there complaining about the issue of power and how they have to, the cost of powering their own specific hub. Then the other one is that we still do rain-fed agriculture in the southern part of Nigeria, especially in the southwest.
Because we see rain in abundance.
Are we seeing rain in abundance? Have you forgotten what happened in the past 2 years and the enormous costs to farmers and how it impacted everybody?
That's of what I mean by being not serious. We have Ikeredie.
It belongs to the federal government.
It can be a source of irrigation to the entire Okeogun.
It belongs to the federal government.
all these things are being looked into. The fact that it belongs to the federal government doesn't mean the state. It is still the state asset. It is the state that owns the land. And we are talking about agriculture here. It's in concurrent, not exclusive. So there's no excuse.
What are resources?
Now, our generation is no longer an exclusive matter.
Yeah.
It is now concurrent matter. So no excuses.
Even generation, distribution, and transmission.
Everything has been decentralized. Because either so, the problem of power is if you generate power, you have to connect to the grid.
National grid.
And there will be problem. But now, that is no longer the case. You can create your own transmission network. And there are even this proposal that is currently being in the pipeline that the discos may now be under the supervision of the state government, which will be a welcome development. That means IDDC would now answer to Governor Makinde and maybe the Osun State.
Does that make business sense?
It will make business sense. It will mean that the governor can now tell them, come, it's like, this domain is too big for you. Let's cut it into two. And as far as I know, you need to break down, unbundle the discos. You have 12 of them. 12 is too small to distribute effectively for a country.
What about transmission? What about transmission?
Transmission is already being worked on. That is the role of Siemens for now, because they are already advancing in that. But it's not something that would happen overnight. But we need to really look away from that transmission grid. We can create a mini grid network around the.
That is where we started from, until nationalization or making everything national became the vogue in the days of Obasanjo.
Exactly. No, apart from the nationality, it was the unification decree that really centralized it.
Everything.
Nationalization just came as regards foreign companies that are.
I mean, when I said nationalization in this guy, making everything national, of course, it is traceable to Decree 34,
yes.
drafted by Professor Benny Wabweze of blessed memory.
Of 1966 had already centralized every regional asset.
Yes, and
so
as we.
That was when the problem started. Obasanjo just gave them national identity.
So let me now ask this question, because it may be the one on which everything is hinged. In your considered opinion of what you have seen about the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, are you of the opinion that he has the necessary political will to drive his vision through?
I cannot categorically conclude, because
based on what you have seen.
Based on what I've seen, I think he has, but he needs to be more brutal in some areas.
Because, really?
Yes, we have some economic bandits within that are ready to frustrate any policy that is not to their own advantage. And we have a situation where lawbreakers go scot-free. Criminals are not being punished. The president needs to really be serious about law enforcement. If he does not.
In which areas of law enforcement?
Holistically. Corruption, both criminal. He needs to be serious, because you have the intelligence agencies outfit that will give you the intelligence. Get the dossier of these people. You cannot be claiming that you are not aware that some people are behind the sponsorship of terrorism, which is affecting our agricultural and raw material production, as well as the development of our solid minerals. Why are we playing politics with that? You cannot claim not to be aware of those who are within the ranks of the civil service who would bungle contractor and discourage employers.
Like the P and ID, BPD and what is it again? That contract. The P and ID.
When he went to India, he met one of the biggest player in the Indian economy there. And he was trying to woo the man. And the man said, well, my file has been on your table for the past 12 years. Can you imagine that? Meaning the man had already been interested in coming to Nigeria.
Exactly. Bureaucratic. Bureaucracy, the bureaucratic maze in Abuja and everywhere.
If he wants to achieve anything in the area of the economy, because we keep talking about the economy. Economy will bring about job creation that will reduce unemployment. Economy will bring about improvements in the standard of living. Economy will bring about the overall human capital development. If it is not taken seriously, we will not really, we will still have that poverty level. You can imagine over 133 million people you expect to be multidimensionally poor. That is huge in a country of one. So that means half of our population is multidimensionally poor.
And in 30 seconds, as we wrap this up, by the end of the first half of year 2024, do you foresee, as we go, any form of relief coming the way of Nigerians in terms of food price, consumer price index?
All things being equal, if we start, if the refineries work and they are effective by then, no crash, nothing, and if by that time Siemens would have also advanced in what they are doing, there would have been improvement in power, there would have been cheap supply of petroleum products. Definitely there is supposed to be an improvement in the standard of living of people.
Yes, keeping hope alive. Yes, and of course, we should not forget that this administration's campaign mantra is renewed hope. Well, Nigerians might have a lot of deficit of trust for governments, but this man is here for the first time. He's not been president before. So let us keep hope alive. We didn't arrive at this terrible location by sudden flight. It is a journey that took us there, and it is a journey that will take us out, not a sudden flight. Mr. Ayodeji Ajisope, thank you so much. I literally jumped on you this afternoon, and thank you for honoring the invite to join us on this program. And, of course, your incisive interventions always. God bless you, and do have a restful evening.
Thank you. Have a restful evening.
Listeners and viewers, thank you so much. It's been political update, and of course we've been having a rundown of the recent developments in the Nigerian economic space and the projection even into the end of first half of year 2024. Thank you so much for watching and listening. God bless you all. It's been me, Ayodeji Ajisope, presenting with Vic Regis, producing me. Bye for now.
Solutions 93.9 FM. We know they go anywhere. We there for you. Come